It's Saturday Stockman Stampede, and this week I received a letter in the mail from Terry with a couple of his stickers in it. So I would ask you to go check out his channel. He's a great guy and has excellent content. You'll really enjoy it. Today we want to take a look at this Case Large Stockman. This one is in smooth brown bone. See, it's got the shield in here. All the transitions, everything is nice and smooth. It's threaded and pinched. And then there's the other side. The two sides on this one look pretty close to each other as far as the color and the texture that's in the bone. This one has your standard clip point blade. You see here Case XX, and it's a 7 dot, so I think that means that's this year's production, and I haven't had this one all that long. Let's take a look at the sheep's foot. So you can see there USA 6375, so the 6 is bone, 3 blades, 75 pattern. Stainless steel. This is in Case's True Sharp. And then it's got your typical spay blade. Now this one is pretty good. The centering on it is not bad, as you can see here on the main blade, but there is some rubbing that goes on with this one. And anytime you try and fit 3 blades like this into such a tight area, you're going to have some of that rubbing. You can see right there some of the rubbing on this, on the main blade. And that's not, to me, that's not as bad as on a stainless steel knife. When you have a carbon steel knife that develops patina, I really don't like to see those scuff marks. And in carbon steel knives, I tend to carry knives where at least the main blade doesn't have any rubbing. If this was a carbon steel knife, I'd probably try and move this blade over just a hair so that it wasn't rubbing on here, because that doesn't look too good in your patina. Let me give you an example. I showed this knife probably a month ago or so on Saturday Stockman Stampede. And this one has no rubbing at all on the main blade. I did move this main blade, which was risky because this is a carbon steel knife. And I was able to get it centered. It was all the way over that way, actually rubbing the liner hard, which would put it in contact with these other blades. Now it has plenty of spacing in here, and even when you open it, even if you push the blade over a little bit, it doesn't rub. So that's perfect. So now this knife can develop a patina, and there's no scratches in that patina. The other 2 blades, there's minor rubbing, but that's okay. But just not on the main blade where it gets patina. But on the stainless steel knife, that doesn't even bother me at all. This knife runs pretty true. The blades have good centering. It's these 2 hit each other also. You can see right there just a little dot for some rubbing. And you can also see it on the spay blade right here. But it's not bad. The blades don't interfere with each other. It runs true. This knife is a pleasure to use. And I got this one in the middle of the summer, because in the summertime, if I'm doing work outside, I'm going to get really hot and sweaty, and it's not the best time for me to carry a carbon steel knife. The thing will start getting rust on it. So I figured for the summertime, I would switch to a knife that's in stainless. So I went with this in Case's True Sharp. This is a beautiful knife, and I'll carry this again next summer. But for now, my carry has been this $15 Rough Rider. This has really become my knife. The Stockman has become my pattern. I really like Stockmans. I like the large handle size, so it's comfortable in hand for doing a lot of work. Besides being great in the hand, the Stockman 75 pattern has a very useful selection of blades. First, you have the main blade. I'll typically use the main blade for cutting up my food or anything that needs to be pierced. It's got a really nice point, and it also lets you get up underneath something and cut, like you would do with a Warren Cliff blade. Probably the most used blade on the knife is the sheep's foot. This blade will do anything that a razor knife will do, but you always have it on your person. You have a nice utility blade on a good handle that you can hold on to, and you can maneuver it and you can do all kinds of work, whether it's stripping wire. I work with a lot of Ethernet cable on my job. It could be, boxes and packages, just about any daily need. This does most tasks. Then you have the spay blade. A lot of times I'll use the spay blade as my dirty blade, or I'll use it for sharpening pencils. If I'm going to be into some sticky stuff, I'll use this one as the blade that I'll let get dirty. Or if I have to do some heavier duty scraping or something like that, and I need a blade that's going to get a little bit dull, then I'll use the spay blade for that. Plus, it's got a nice belly for anything that you would use a sod buster for. So overall, this is such a useful pattern. I love the 75 pattern Stockmans. It's one of the best patterns that's ever been made in a traditional knife. We'll see you on the next one.